Photography gear does not really matter. Is this the single most biggest lie we photographers hear about gear in the community? It's all about the photographs. The gear doesn't matter. It's the end result that counts. The photograph. Sure, all true, and one can build a solid argument around those statements. However, is the gear doesn't matter argument only an excuse to justify one's shortcomings in that department? Is this the wall we put up when our camera gear or lack thereof becomes challenged? I can bring you up a dozen examples right now where having the right gear would not only make certain the photographer grab the shot, but do it easier and preserve quality. One example, a photographer using a telephoto in the wildlife photography. Now, if gear wasn't such a hot topic amongst us, why does gear content get the most number of views on a platform? Look, it's time to be honest here. Gear makes us happy. It's part of the whole journey. We get excited using that new lens for the first time or that new camera. I'll tell you a quick story. One day I was shooting out and about, shooting some birds in nature. There was a few of us, set up our tripods, our lenses, cameras, and here comes this gentleman I've never seen in my life, gets his camera out. He pulls out a $12,000 600mm lens, and he makes his presence felt. I mean, the gestures, his mannerisms, he wanted to be noticed, and I can tell that he wanted to show off a little bit. He wanted to show off his equipment because it made him feel good. Finally, he got his equipment, his telephoto. He wanted to show it off to the world, to his peers, to other photographers, and make his presence felt. Like, look at me, look at the lens I'm using. I could see the joy in his face. I went up to him, I started talking to him, and he just lit up. I believe that you'd be lying to yourself if you're a photographer and the gear does not make you a happy camper. It brings topics of discussion to the table, brings people together. Yes, they are tools of the trade, but they're just fascinating and amazing to talk about. You have to admit though, gear is part of the whole journey and the fun and the love of photography. Hey, by the way guys, for this video I'm using the Small Rig RA-D55, a 21.6 inch parabolic softbox for about $100. This product diffuses your light when you're doing video or stills. It's made of really good quality. It's portable, snaps into place. It's got a Bowens mount. It's got a grid that comes with it and the diffuser. Awesome product. Like I said, I highly recommend this product. And for this video, I am using this Small Rig softbox. It's got a new quick release design. Here's a look at the bag that it comes with. Folds right in there for easy storage and transport. The RA-D55 weighs about 2.4 pounds. And like I said, I highly recommend it. Good product. So back to the topic in hand. Sure, there are minimalists out there that will talk your head off and tell you the gear just a tool to get the job done and we shouldn't worry about it so much, put so much emphasis on it. That's true to a certain extent, but try doing wildlife with the 24-70 or try shooting a portrait with the fisheye lens. You see where I'm going with this? Having the right gear for the right job makes it so much easier, and gear to a certain extent does matter. Now the newer gear, the more modern gear is gonna have more advanced features. When you think about lenses, you know, the modern coatings, the speed of the focus, just all around the features, the design, the weight of the lenses, you know, it plays a part in your photography. You know, the new 800 6.3 Nikon, that thing does not weigh, it's not heavy. You know, that can come into play when you're hand holding, shooting birds out and about. The new 400Z with the TC built in. Same thing, guys, new technology. Sure, you can get the job done with an older 400 2.8. I love the 400 2.8 that I own, but it's a little heavier. It's on the heavier side. The quality is there. But the new Z, more modern technology, built-in teleconverter, sharpness, colors. You know, gear matters. It costs more money these days to own the newer gear, but I think It's well worth it if you can afford it. Of course, there are workarounds. You can buy an older model of the same modern lens. Look, I think it's time for us to agree that new gear brings us joy and happiness. I look at it as part of the journey, part of the process in making images. It's all relevant. Just like the time of day you go out and you shoot. All relevant. Photo equipment sometimes isn't perfect. You know, the AF doesn't lock on, the subject is moving way too fast for the lens to keep up. However, that said, the top major camera makers have come a long way. Technology has greatly improved, especially in the video side of things. Like autofocus, it just seems like the hot topic of every photography forum. Although there's no perfect camera, I must admit the latest from the top makers surely puts a smile on my face. And then there's something called brand loyalty, the justification that we made the right decision, the camera and lens that we purchased. Recently on Chuck's Photo podcast, this topic was discussed in detail. Loyalty versus fanboyism. What's the difference between a fanboy and a fan of a brand of camera? Are you so invested in a brand that you fail to point out what the faults may be when it comes to your camera? Well, what if you love everything about a certain brand that you use? I don't see anything wrong with that. And I'm a fan of many things in life, many companies, and camera makers are no exception. I like what Nikon is doing. I like what Nikon has done over the years. And if something needs to be changed, I don't mind suggesting it to Nikon USA. This needs to be changed, or you can do this, or how about this, giving them suggestions, because I want them to succeed. I want them to be, successful. I want them to make the best camera product they can make. Having a public conversation on platforms or amongst peers about Nikon versus Canon and so on is healthy. I would not have it any other way. Wishing death to a company is bad for photography and the photographer. Competition is a good thing. Not a big fan of monopolies either. All in all, yes, cameras and lenses are just tools, but they're the right tools for certain type of jobs. Gear does matter. It matters to me. It matters physically and mentally because I love photography. It brings up conversations with other photographers. It's just a healthy thing to debate. Hey, my lens is better. No, that lens is no good. Try this lens. This camera. We can always be monotone when it comes to gear. And we can always be that person that says, yeah, you know what? I don't need the newest gear. And you probably don't. You can probably use your 20 or 30-year-old camera and get the job done. I've said this many times in the past. However, using new technology, the technology that's available for us as working pros or hobbyists or enthusiasts, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes makes the job easier for us. And hey, that new technology is not shabby either, guys. And one more thing, guys, if the gear makes you happy, if it makes you happy taking it out of the bag, prepping it up for the next show, cleaning it up, just admiring it, showing it off to friends, then you know what? Knock yourself out. Have fun. It's part of the journey. It's part of the benefits of being a photographer. It's something to look forward to. A group of photographers get together and they talk shop. They have a good time doing so. You go to trade shows. You see other friends. You see other people from across the globe. And of course, I'm not taking anything away from the art aspect of photography, which is more important than the gear aspect. However, as a photographer, how about having both? How about having the discussion of gear and the discussion of a great photograph? What do you guys think? Hey, so again, guys, what do you guys think of the Small Rig Softbox 21 inches? So check it out, guys, for about $100. It's pretty rock and roll. It's rock solid. Good job, Small Rig. On a side note, before I close, there's big changes coming for me personally, but this time I rather show you than just tell you about it. All right, you'll see the changes very soon. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Go out there, have fun with your gear, and rock and roll. This is Vahagraphy. I'm Vahagan, your rock and roll photographer. We'll see you on the next video. Rock and roll. Hey, what's good, guys? Vahagan here from Vahagraphy. If you like more rockin' videos like this one, go ahead and check the videos on the screen and subscribe to this channel, Vahagraphy. Rock and roll.